What's up, blockchain, crypto kids, all my friends? How you doing today? Coming at you with a little bit of this and that, going over the crypto income report. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you got lots of life and beauty and sunshine pouring into you. Did you hear this nonsense? This has got to be a psyop. Bitfinex hackers who stole 60 million from crypto, which turns out to be 36 billion because it was 60 million back then, from crypto exchanges, arrested after 6 years. And they want us to believe that this rapper girl here is like TikTok comedian rapper chick was involved in sending, Bitcoin to mixers and jumping it into all sorts of different cryptos across blockchains, sending it to fake KYC accounts, pulling that through all sorts of other money laundering effects, and that this, mastermind here, who is now had her house raided and all that stuff, is responsible for some sort of hack. And here is the leaked picture of the DOJ posing with a $3.6 billion bust in Bitcoin. I think that's just a meme. I don't think it's a real picture, but it's funny nonetheless. But all sorts of interesting things going on. And as you know, most things in the media, and the good thing about crypto is how I used to say all the time is that crypto is going to help people realize, understand that how bad they were getting screwed and how much the media lied to you, because no one knows more how much, the media is just basically an echo chamber for, the interests of extremely rich people. Than investors, because once you're even stock market investors who are like against the grain people who understand that the banks are are manipulating things, those people who are not the 97% of people who lose all trades because they're doing following all charts and not following what the banks are doing. Those people who lose constantly, they will never understand this. But the rest of us who have, figured out that, because the reason why 97% of traders lose is because they put their trades up ahead of time. They're not ghost trades. So the banks can see where their trades are. And so they just move the market in the other direction and collect that money because they own the brokerages. And I've been through this a whole bunch of times, and I lost an early on channel for talking about the accredited investor distinction, which you're not allowed to talk about. I lost the channel for going on about that all the time when I was much more focused in macroeconomics and not the microeconomics, going through platforms and stuff that we're doing now. But anyway, all that being said, you learn in the crypto sphere that, and not just the crypto sphere, but the investment sphere, when you have that mindset, when you understand that the banks are controlling the media and the media is controlling you so that they can basically dump on you. When you understand that that is exactly what's happening, you kind of come to the realization that everything in the mainstream media is, pretty much, made up, and, or, it's there for an agenda. And I used to say that people would come to the realization for being here, and of course they do, but it's also, you come to the realization that money's rigged, and that, you don't really realize that you're not allowed to invest in REITs. Why can't I invest in a REIT? A REIT is just like taking a building or an apartment or a bunch of units. You go in as a group, you buy all those, you create a little company that maintains them, and then you get passive income from the rental properties. Anyone in the world will want to be involved in that. Super smart. Anyway, everyone wants to be involved in that. I would want to be involved in that, but you're not an accredited investor, so you are not allowed to be involved in that. And they say they are protecting you. And I really shouldn't get into all this, but what that protecting investors mean when the Fed says that is accredited investors. And that's why they use a law dictionary to separate, these terms. And then they jump in and out of using the legal definition versus regular definitions all the time to muddy the water, to confuse you, to make, keep people in their place, keep you subjugated. So basically, when they say they are protecting investors, they're not protecting you from investing in some BitConnect or something, right? They're protecting accredited investors from competing with retail investors, with you. That's what they mean when they say protecting investors. So every time you see that we're doing this, protect investors, and you'll see a bunch of people who get confused by that, and they tell you, oh, well, see, they're just trying to protect us. They're not here to protect you guys. They're here to protect the market for the accredited investors. And that's why brokers always have to take the opposite side of every trade, so that you as a retail investor cannot move the market like a real accredited investor can. This is a long conversation and not what this video is about. But my point is, this whole thing here is, take it with a grain of salt. That's where we're going. We're going to start right here at Prometheus nodes at Prometheus Protocol, because I set up a big Zeus node, which is the largest node that they have here yesterday. Also, I had communicated with the founder. I was just asking him, hey, how can we see that AMA? And he had basically said that the AMA, it did have problems with the auto quality or whatever, and they were doing like some subtitles for it, and they are going to put it out, and it's just taking a long time because it's like a 2-hour AMA, and they are going to put that out. I just think they should do another AMA with me as the host, but that's just me. Anyway, moving on down here, let's take a look at the at our nodes here, right? So the price, one fee for the smallest node, decays at 0.65% a day for a year, then it just balances out. And that's how all these work. This 101.33 a day pays out one fee a day. So you could buy yourself a new node every day if you wanted to. And this is the type of thing where you want to, take your passive income, but also you want to be reinvesting or re-compounding, however you want to say it, back into the system, because that keeps you on keeps your income steady, keeps it growing, and that's what this protocol is all about, growing consistent passive income. So I bought myself a Zeus node yesterday, and getting the first results now. A Zeus node pumps out one per day. I'm currently at 0.666, and no, this isn't the Phantom chain. This is on BSC. Node Aries, that's the other one I have. That one pumps out half a fee a day, and I've gotten this 0.48 today. So looking pretty good. I'm gonna keep reinvesting here and probably adding in some more funds, because I really like what's going on here, and I want to build myself up a nice chunk here before I'm not worried about like pulling my initial capital out as soon as possible. This is more of a long-term play, and I'm super happy about it. But you're at 1% a day with this Zeus node, and you got that decay and all that. But the whole point of this is to, like I said, do some regular reinvesting and keep yourself on the positive side of everything here. This platform is a sleeper, and once this thing starts pumping and they get the bonds going, then they're going to be starting a bunch of marketing campaigns. So now is your opportunity if you want to take a look at Prometheus nodes on the Binance Smart Chain. Now's the time. But just got myself a nice at current rates. I'm making 30 a day, so 35 a day, and not bad. And I think it's going to go a lot higher than that. Anyway, moving on from there, let's go over to the animal farm. Everyone is talking about it. There's just so many people on this, and it's pretty cool. And so these APRs on these farms, some of them are correct and some of them aren't. These ones are like lower down here seem to be correct, but all these top three right here are not correct. And so everyone and their dog came out and said, oh, I've got this original tool that no one's ever heard of. And it's called VFAT Tools at BSC. Anyway, easy to find, VFAT.tools. And it basically tells you the real percentages or the real APRs, because they're not up to date on the site, which is just fine. And it's actually, if it did have the real APRs in there, probably a whole bunch of people would ape in with a whole bunch of liquidity to mop up a lot of the rewards. So keeping a lot of people out of the pools and all that by having these lower rewards, that works just fine for me, because then I'm collecting them and I'm DCAing into the pools. Now, let's talk about that real quick. The way I DCA into farms, all farms, I mean, especially if it's a farm that I like, generally I stay out of the Deegan token, which is the native platform token, and I just sell that off, because that's what most people do, and you don't want to be stuck holding that bag, right? Unless it's a unique situation like, say, Beethoven or Liquid Driver or some of these other situations where that token is going to end up being extremely valuable, say Boo, for instance, because they have that whole certificate of deposit thing, and by staking your coins, your XBoo goes up more than your Boo, so people want to hold on to it, because that coin is basically an interest-bearing asset, right? Which is what we have here. These dogs are interest-bearing, the dogs are the only way to get the interest-bearing asset, which is pigs. Pigs, you stick it in here, you own a part of the protocol, all that good stuff. You know, it's the mantra of rich people. They buy assets and and they don't, you know, you buy an asset and use that asset to pay for things, right? The Robert Kiyosaki whole rich dad, poor dad thing, put it in a nutshell very well. So with the pigs being the interest-bearing asset and what you're trying to get, I take all the pigs I earn, I stick them in the pig pen, and I just leave it at that. Super, super simple. Now, when I am DCAing into farms, wherever it might be, right? Like, say, on Beethoven. On Beethoven, I take my Beethoven that I get out of the Beethoven Phantom LP. I don't buy more Beethoven. I just take the rewards that I get, I pair it up with more Phantom, and stick it in the pools. That's it. That's what I'm doing here, too. Currently, I'm taking all of my dogs, all the pigs I stick in the pig pen, like I said. But all of the dogs that I'm getting right now, I'm not looking to buy more dogs. Wow, the price really just tanked too for both of these. I'm not looking to buy more dogs. What I'm looking to do is DCA into this and earn a bunch more dogs. So I got a couple B&B sitting off to the side. And what I'm doing is I go through every day or every other day, and I'm going to go through and just grab up all of my dogs that I got built up, and I put them in the pool. And I don't buy more dogs. I just pair it up with B&B that I already have, and I stick it in this pool here. And we actually found out through this VFAT tools that the dogs and wrapped B&B pool is paying out nicely. It's paying out at 2.3 a day. That's pretty crazy. The dogs BUSD pair, 1.98% a day. Damn. BUS, what's this one here? This is the drip BUSD, and that's the cake one. That one's really high too. It's delicious, 1.72. Those are your three bests. That's killer percentages to be earning every day. So for me, the way this is pumping out now, like you got a lot of these people who are hyper focused on the farm, and they're like, the farm's 1% a day. We're only getting little bits here. No, you're actually getting way more here than you are at the farm. In either the garden or the this drip BUSD pool. So, right now my recommendation would be not to go into drip where you put in and 360, I would say buy drip, but I wouldn't put it directly into the drip. I would maybe stick it in here and let my profits that I earn out of here buy me more drip and stick that into the regular drip, because the regular drip faucet, because this is paying out so much higher. So why wouldn't I just stick my flow in here and earn at that, way over 1%? Fantastic. And your package here, what you put in never expires, right? That 365% after that, after you've gotten that, your original funds are gone, right? Well, not in the case here. You're earning much more per day, and all those funds are yours. You can take them out anytime you want. There is a lot of value in having access to your funds. So again, what I do, I take all of my dogs, I just go through all the pools and all the farms that I have. I grab all the dogs out that I can, right? Got some $20 in dogs here, $30 here. Oh, this is pigs. I just leave that one. $20 there, and what I got, $8 here, but because I've done this recently. But what I do is I go through and I just grab all that dogs out of there. Probably do that tomorrow sometime. Pair it up with more B&B and stick it in the farm. And that's how I DCA in. Now you can DCA into any of these. There's dogs BUSD is fantastic. If you think B&B is overvalued, if you think B&B is undervalued, then sticking it in this pool is a good idea. That's up to you and your risk preferences. But I think you know how this works. You print details, grab pig, click on this get pigs dogs, buy it, and do pair it up, all that stuff. All you need to do here is harvest it all, click on that one, pair it up with the B&B I already have, and I'm off to the races. So APRs are actually much higher than they looking, and that's always a good thing, right? Can't beat that. It's much better than lower. I know a lot of people concerned about the price, especially if you bought up higher. This is cheaper than I paid. I also paid $100 more than this, but I'm still not buying more tokens at this point. What I'm doing is I'm just glad to be earning more tokens off of my percentage, right? Because the lower this price goes, the more tokens that you will earn from these APRs, the more tokens that you have when this thing actually runs or goes up, shoots to the moon, if that's what it's going to do. you're gonna end up with a lot more tokens, you know. And I did that on like Beethoven, like I was saying, as a prime example. But I've done it everywhere. Bison, I've done it on 100 different exchanges. The reason it worked really good on Beethoven, or why that's a prime example, because as that got down to like 13 cents, I just kept loading in 16 cents. I loaded in more, and most people had bought in at like $1 because that's what it like launched at. I just bought in lower. I did buy a couple at $1 at the beginning, and not many. And then when it got down, boom, I just started loading in, and as things dipped down, and I meant to do that with Tho on from Thoris, but I just didn't have the funds available because I was saving them all for this here. But if I had done that, I would have made a killing, right? Because Tho went down to like 13 cents, and I should have been loading, I should have put like $3,000 in there, because right now it's at like 30 cents, and it was clear that it was going to go back up. That would have been an easy freaking 2x. And I, on Beethoven, same thing. When it got down to 13, 16 cents, I was loading in. And then, after that, I would take whatever pumped out of the farm, all the beats that would pump out of the farm, and I would pair them up with Phantom and stick them back in the pool. Same here. Grab all the dogs, pair them up with BNB, stick them back in the pool. I'm not buying the token. I'm just pairing it up with the liquidity I already have. And when that price rise finally comes, man, my thing's pumping out, right? I put maybe 1,000 into Beethoven, and now I've got like a $4,000 account that's just regularly paying me beats that I reinvest at 50 cents, and I withdraw them and sell them above that. So there's all that. Moving on from there, let's switch up, head over to Phantom real quick. And we'll start right here at Tomb Finance. We are currently at peg, but not at printing peg. But we were below peg today and above peg, but we're finally getting back in that nice, tasty range. We did get a little bit of Tomb pumped out today, which I stuck in Beluga Finance Tomb Maximizer. I got a little bit going on over here, but what this Tomb Maximizer does over here at Beluga is it pays it gives you an APR of like 80 something percent, 80.24% on the Tomb, and then it takes what it earns out of the it's probably in the Tomb Phantom LP or something. It takes what you earn out of there and puts it into the OXD USD LP with automatically. So it takes your profits and sticks it into that LP, which is earning like a ridiculous amount. It's earning like 30,000%, all right, or something crazy, or this one here, 130, a ridiculous amount of APY percent, but it pays you into that LP automatically, which then that LP is earning. So it's a very interesting situation, and they got a lot of different farms, and they got their own little swap. But these farms is what really makes it interesting, because they pay out weird stuff, or they do strange things, and it's very interesting. It's really cool what they got going on, and Beluga is pretty freaking interesting. So back over on Tomb, we recently got some stuff from Harry A, where Harry A was going around and like messing with all the Tomb forks. And while he was messing with all the Tomb forks, because most of them are garbage, like for instance, and some of them are good, like I think Bomb Swap is good. I think people are really trying. There's one, there's a couple one on Avalanche I think is trying to do good things. There's one on Harmony that's fantastic. There's quite a few that are good. You find a lot of these different promoters who are like push them, like specifically Bomb Swap and then EMP, and then they say, oh, I'm leaving the team because you were telling everyone how this was like the longest play. Make sure we're all going to play this right, work as a community, and we all have to do this. Then the thing breaks peg and you leave the team, right? It's weird. It's almost like that they were trying to get everyone in while his core people were dumping on people. I don't know that for sure, but there are much better forks out there. So anyway, Harry A, the owner and billionaire behind Tomb Finance, who bought Tomb Finance back in the day, he was going around and like messing with the forks, right? Checking them out because he thinks, he's like, you're stealing people's money, and he's like got some altruistic thing going on. I personally think you should leave it alone and concentrate on running your platform, which is like the corporate play of the Tomb forks, right? It's the one that is backed. It's backed by billionaires. It's got all the use cases. It's got its own DAO stuff going on. And there's so much going on with it that we know that this is like the big corporate play, and you just leave it at that. Stay up there with the big guys and be the beacon, right? Instead, he's going around trolling some of these groups, and it's kind of entertaining in one aspect of it, but on the other aspect, it's, kind of silly. But, you know, I do like Harry A, and I think he's, you know, amazing. He's just done amazing stuff for Phantom, you know, and Tomb has, like, you know, they got a validator node. They got so much it's going on. I think if you've been following this channel, you know I'm a huge Tomb fan. And I keep my investment in here. Right now, I'm actually loading all of my T share that I earn in the cemeteries back into the masonry. And I wasn't doing that for a while because I was exactly at 420, and I just left it like that as, like, you know, some sort of meme. But now I'm starting to load that back in here, because what I do, if the price is above 10 grand, I sell the T share. If it's below 10 grand, I reinvest it. I don't sell Tomb. Any Tomb I get, there's just so much stuff to do with the Tomb. I just go earn with it. You can stake it on Singular Farm, which has just released a new duo farm. Has a really great similar pool to what Beluga's doing over there. You can stake it on Beluga. You can stake it at OX DAO and earn OX coins. And remember, the Andre Cronje NFT that is going out to the top 20 protocols on Phantom, that's coming soon. And Tomb's getting one of those. There's lots of different reasons. So there's the one Tomb fork that I talk about, right? I don't talk about EMP. I don't talk about Bomb Swap. I don't talk about any of these other Tomb forks. The one on Harmony is worth speaking about, but I don't talk about them because, you know, a lot of the people that follow my channel are a little slower. You know, they don't jump in the next day. They need a week to get there. So I don't want to talk about something that's going to be crappy in a week. I need something that's going to survive and be here for a while, because other than that, what's the point? It's more something I'd, you know, share with you in Telegram or something like that. So the great Tomb fork that Harry actually put money in is Tomb Finance, or 2Ohm Finance, which I've been talking about for a while. And 2Ohm Finance has created they kind of took Harry's idea of, basically creating a Ohm fork as part of the Tomb and creating liquidity-backed treasury, similar to what Prometheus is doing, where, you know, people come in, they can bond, and you have all this treasury that's going to help peg the price, all that good stuff. So these guys jumped out in front of them and created their own. It's called 3DAO. So we'll click over on that real quick. 3DAO is basically similar. It's a Tomb fork with a treasury, and it's got, like, you know, its own little Olympic Ohm fork attached to it, where you can come in here with the DAO. You can bond your different stuff here. You can bond 2 shares, 3 shares. So they have 2 shares and 2Ohm, which is for this 2Ohm platform. Then they have the 3DAO, which is the platform, like basically layer 2 of this Tomb fork, right? And so in this, they have, you know, liquidity owned platform where they're going to own that liquidity, and they basically, and it's really cool the way they've done it. They have the devs are doing the right stuff. So anyway, Harry was going around like trolling all these, and he was like trolling these people too. And then he like dug into the protocol and dug into the team. And yes, please know that this is freaking, the lead dev is like 16 years old, or maybe he's a little older than that, but he's a kid, you know? You don't give a kid millions of dollars, but, you know, if you don't, investing in a boy genius, if that's, you know, something that you're interested in, I think this little dev has got it going on. He's super well spoken, and professional, and they have, like, you know, given up the keys and like done all this stuff to where they have proven that they're not a rug pull. And Harry, who was planning to like troll these guys and try to shut them down, maybe he's like basically gave them a friendly fork you know, nod of approval, and invested. He put like $100,000 or something, maybe it was $1 million he put into this platform. And so, of course, and he tweeted about it. So, of course, that caused a big pump, right? So that caused a bump in the 2 shares price, which is now settling off now back down to 3.8. It was up to what, 7 something. It was great. I sold on this day. I took all my profits. I sold them all into power, and I'm buying another power node. And now that we're back down here, I'll probably reinvest a little bit. But it was like, geez, Harry just bought in. That's nuts. And so, yeah, this is very interesting. And they have farms over here on the DAO part, and they have a coin on each side that basically it's 2 layers of Tomb fork. But you can take the 2 shares from the other side, from the 2 shares from the 2Ohm part, and stake them here and earn 3 shares. So more use cases for this 2Ohm. Now, a long time ago, I had said about Tomb Finance that that the farms they had weren't enough, that they only have these 2 farms. The now we can just go over there and look at them there. that they have just these two farms, Tomb FTM and T-Share FTM, printing out T-Share. But what they could really use is a third pool that had T-Share and Tomb in a pool, so that we would have somewhere to lock our Tomb up. And I said that even in the group, but they basically said that would be too much downward pressure on the T-Share, and it would sink the T-Share in the toilet. And I'm like, who cares if the T-Share's in the toilet? All that matters is that the Tomb is above peg. I don't care where the T-Share's at, because I can just sell it for daily passive income, right? So these guys implemented that. I mean, I'm not saying they were in there looking at my chat or anything, because it's an obvious idea, right? You take this 2 ohm that's pumping out of the boardroom or the masonry over there, and whenever the price is above peg and you need someplace else to put it, so sticking it in here, pairing it up with T-Share and earning more T-Share, that to me is fantastic. You know, that keeps this thing above peg because people have something to do with their Tomb, to do with their 2 ohm. And now, you know, and if it was on Tomb, then to do with their Tomb. And now it makes people more sell the T-Share. And that's what we want. We want people to sell the T-Share and keep the 2 ohm and earn with it. This gives them a way to do it. And so it really helps this thing stay above peg. It's smart. It's so smart that a lot of different people have come up with it. Now they got your 3 ohm here and your 3 DAO, which basically takes you to the couple different sections here. For that 3 DAO, this is where we're on right now. Looking, I know we're on at farms. The 3 DAO is where you do the bond, right? This whole thing. You got your bonds here. This bonds is, you know, has never been available. 3 ohm has to be above peg. This is similar to the bonds, not on ohm, but on Tomb. The DAO here, what they call instead of bonds on ohm, is called rebates here, which is just fun. You know, you basically come in and you can, you know, purchase things for cheaper, right? You can put in 3 shares here and get a big bonus. You get 31% right now. So pretty interesting. All this is interesting. I'm not using this rebate section, so we're not going to stick on that too long. Here's the treasury. They're basically talking about the protocol owned liquidity. This is pretty cool because it's already functioning. Most people are like, coming soon, and it's like the parts that they do own is right here. I think they should take, you know, some other interest-bearing assets and allow us to bond to them. And remember, when Tomb comes up with something similar, it's called Time. There's going to be a lot deeper, a lot more well developed. They got, you know, a whole team of devs working on it, as opposed to a couple guys who are, you know, super into the protocol. So the best damn freaking Tomb fork, like I've been saying for a long time, is not EMP money. It's not Bomb. It's not any of these other Scarab Finance or any of these ones we're talking about, because there's no real originality there. We have extreme originality here. They're implementing new things. We have this DAO. All these things are mechanisms to keep the price above peg, and it's working quite nicely, right? We're at 1.76 right now. We've, you know, never broke peg. It's fantastic. Way above peg on the 3 share side of things. So you could just get in there. You can get in either one of these, you know, it doesn't matter. This is financial advice. I don't care if you get into this or not. It doesn't help me or anything like that. I'm just showing you what I'm doing, and I think this is a major way to earn some serious freaking APRs. All right, let's go look at the APRs real quick. So in the farms, on the 3 shares, wrapped FTM, we are currently at 7.94%. Fantastic. I've earned $78 in that pool just today. In the 3 ohm FTM pool, 7.88%. Now these pools have the same payout amount as over there on 2 ohm, except for it pays out in 3 shares, but 5.23%, and that's the same thing over there on the 2 ohm wrapped Phantom is also 5.23%. And then the last farm we had there, which is also over there, is the 2 ohm wrapped FTM. Over there, it pays out in 2 shares. Here, it pays out in 3 shares, but it gives you more to do with your 2 ohm. It's super damn smart. And this one's paying out 5.19%. So over 5% on all of them, right? Except for, I believe, the boardroom over there is paying out a little bit less than that. And here we're at an APR of 2,100. So not quite as heavy here as in the other pools, but still, I mean, dang, you can't match these. And this thing got a friendly fork designation pretty much. I mean, not like fully, but, you know, he tweeted about it, invested in it. The owner of Original Tomb, I think that's a very, very good sign and proof that we chose the better fork, man. Because, it's like we were saying when we chose it is like, you want the fork that is doing stuff. You want that, like if someone's going to fork something, they need to like make changes, make improvements, have a hair on fire freaking solution problem that you're trying to solve. The problem is that things keep losing peg. And so they have this DAO, they have the additional pool and all that good stuff. And now they have a investment from Harry A and a friendly fork designation from Harry a tweet from Harry A, fantastic devs that gives regular AMAs. I think this is by far the greatest fork in all the land. And I think Harry saw it the same way. So I think that's pretty cool. All right, and last but not least, we're going to talk about Red Light Node District. I'm so pumped about this platform. Things have been going good. I got in down at 10 something. I bought a little bit more in the 22, 24 range, but not much. I spent like $2,000 way down here. Spent another, a few $100 up here just to kind of top up. And then I've been DCAing in. And the way I DCA in over here on AVAX, because I don't really have a big money market over here yet, is I have a whole bunch of node plays, right? I'm in like, this PX2 coin, I'm in Polar, I'm in Vapor Nodes, I'm in LVT, and I'm in Tho too, but I'm not selling any of that. And what I'm doing is like, as these pump out every day right now, I'm selling these and buying more of this. Pretty soon I'm going to be selling everything else and buying more Vapor Nodes because I want to get a larger position there. Also want to get a larger position in X2. And so once I got this where I go, this one will help feed the others, right? So basically what I do is I withdraw from all of them except for one, and then I feed that one. And generally the way I choose to do that is I go with whatever one is lowest, right? See, Vapor Nodes is up 18.75%, but Polar Nodes is down 22.96%. Now I'm a lot more confident in Vapor Nodes, so I'd rather purchase into that than in Polar, but Polar is a good node protocol as well. So what I do, especially the ones I'm looking to build my position, is I wait for whatever's red and I sell whatever's green. Pretty standard procedure for me. Some people have a hard time with selling what's up and buying what's down, but that's just, I don't know, it's easy for me. So right now this is way up, but I expect this to go a lot higher because this is a brand new protocol. It's pumping out at its max rate, and we're so early here. They got NFTs, they got game theory, all sorts of fantastic stuff. So let's just go stop by there really quick. This is the nodes that I have running. They are just paying out. I can currently purchase another node. We're going to do that right now. So what you do is you just claim your playmates here. It takes 25 playmates currently at my level in order to purchase a node. And what they do is they have a sales tax, a whale tax they call it here, where your first 10 nodes only cost 20 playmates. Your next 10 nodes cost 25 playmates. And then it keeps going up 5 playmates at a time, right? So right now I'm in the 25 playmate range, and I'm stopping at, I'm going to get myself up to 20 nodes and then just be done with it. So I'll only have one at that 30 buy-in. Right now I'm at the cost of 25 playmates. But damn, this thing has just been pumping. So I got 31 playmates here. Let's go ahead and buy us one more node. You have to name it. I got Concubine, Venus, Mistress, Madame, and let's just go with Street Walker. Create. Confirm. So now I'll be up to 14 nodes. This thing is just freaking paying out, man. It's crazy. Yeah, paying out quite fast and quite well. Has that thing created its node yet? And they have regular AMAs, some of the best spoken teams I've ever seen. They have their own little calls thing where they make their own calls group that you can join for free and get different calls. There hasn't been anything new in there lately because they are hyper focused on creating their own platform. This thing started out as a big calls group, and they were seeing all these node protocols do these different things and fail and not do it right. And they're like, we can just do this right. And they came together, a group of investors, and they are doing it right. And it's fantastic. They got 40,000 nodes already set up. 41,000 nodes now already set up. That was 40,000 earlier today. So it's growing quick, and I think this is going to be a fantastic protocol. And we're at full payout right now, right? We're at the max payout. Distribution is subject to change, and that means it's going to go down over time. So now's the time to get your set up. When the coin is low, distribution is high. We know the coin price is more than likely gonna go up. Distribution per node is gonna go down in the future. Now's the damn time, man. Make the move if you're gonna make it. Anyway, there's all that. Hope you got mad profits falling in your lap. Hope you got freaking love and hugs surrounding you, man. I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. Crypto music is gonna catch you guys on the flip. Hope you're having a hell of a great day. Hope you got mad profits falling in your lap. Hope you got a smile on your face. Turn off that mainstream media. Ain't doing nothing but lying to you. And this guy right here cares about you. I'm out.